All right, we're just about ready to start the 20th annual City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation and Bloomington Market and Deli Salsa contest. I'm Steve Kroenke. I'm the MC for the contest this year. I've never done it before. Happy to be here. We got a lot of stuff going on here, and so I need to say a couple things and tell you how this is going to work. We got 3 different kinds of salsa this year. This year we've got raw salsa and we have cooked salsa, but we added a new category and of course 3 more judges in the area of specialty salsa. From what I understand, specialty salsa can either be cooked or raw, and it can have just about anything in it. The raw, here's a piece of information I didn't know and I just got to it on my list, so I'll tell you. Raw and cooked salsas have a tomato base. Specialty salsa does not. That's all I can say about that. So the judges are going to evaluate the salsa on the basis of 4 criteria with different weights. There is appearance, aroma, flavor and balance, and texture. And flavor is the most important, obviously, because it's something you want to eat. And therefore, it gets a double score. But I think right now, Regs, you ready to start talking about what you're doing? Anytime. He's going crazy with the garlic over here, so let me throw it to him, and he can then tell us what he's up to.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bloomington Farmers Market. And how many years is this, Susan, for the salsa contest?
20.
The 20th year for the salsa contest here at the Farmers Market and associated with Blooming Foods. Can everybody hear me back there? Anybody back by the trees? Anybody on the steps over there? Can you hear me? Raise your hand. Anybody paying attention? Because I want to make sure I'm loud enough. Not getting a whole lot of response, so I'm just going to speak up. If you can't hear me, yell, okay? First of all, I just want to make a comment. What a great thing we have here with the Farmers Market here in the Bloomington community. And we had a big event last night to raise money for the community kitchen, and one of our judges won the Chef's Challenge. I don't know if you guys were aware of that was going on last night. But one of the finest chefs in central Indiana, not to mention just Bloomington and part of the country, Alan Zimmerman over there. Let's give him a big round of applause. The secret ingredient last night was apples, and he made a fantastic pork apple French toast type of dish. Tremendous accomplishment. A lot of pressure on that guy. He did a great job. He's been up all night with his newborn daughter, and he's here judging salsas. So this guy loves Bloomington, as I do too. Anyway, what I'm doing today is a quick demonstration on how to make salsas. I'm sure many of you know how to make salsas. There are a lot of contestants out there, which I'm sure would humble me with their salsa. But we have a fresh-made salsa that we do at my restaurant, Nick's English Hut, 423 East Kirkwood. We buy locally. I buy a lot of local produce from many of these guys and women out there in the market. And part of the produce that I buy from them, I'm going to make a salsa with. And salsa is actually a Spanish word for sauce. It's pretty easy to figure out. So salsa, that's why we have these different categories. Basically, a salsa is a condiment. It's like ketchup, if you put it that way. And so you can put basically whatever you want in it, but the basic components for basic salsa are tomatoes, got to have cilantro, you got to have fresh lime, hot peppers, sweet peppers if you like. If I don't remember, if I mentioned onion or garlic, you got to get that in there too. And I put vinegar, a little bit of rice vinegar in mine, kind of helps preserve it. And those are basic components. Tomato, garlic, lime, cilantro, onion. You can throw anything else you want in there too. Anything you want, no matter what you want. But this is just the basic components which we use to make our salsa at Nick's. And you can build on this at home if you like. You can add black beans, you can add white beans, you can add mangoes, you can add peaches, you can add cherries, whatever you want, whatever you like. That's the great thing about cooking. As long as you have a passion for it and really like to cook great food, which you can get right here at the farmer's market, that's what you do. And that's one good thing about salsa I'm going to show you is a lot of people who aren't really sure about produce. They want to get that perfect tomato. They want to get that tomato that looks like something that's in Gourmet or Bon Appetit magazine, which is great if you want to do that. And these farmers deserve every penny that you give them. But they have these tomatoes that are called seconds, which means they're not as expensive as the other ones. So this is a great way to use seconds when you make salsa. There's several different ways you can make salsa. You can blanch your tomatoes, which means you immerse them in boiling water, and then for a few minutes, then put them in ice water. That's a way to peel to take the peels off very easily. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to take a raw tomato, show you to clean it really quickly, and show you a quick dice. So this is a great way to use those seconds, as they call them, tomatoes. We can use a really nice looking tomatoes too. It doesn't make any difference. But this is a great way to use those tomatoes that you might not really want to put out in your kitchen table and show your guests. These tomatoes are from Teresa Bertles. We buy a lot of her tomatoes in my restaurant, Nick's. Teresa is right over here, Heartland Family Farm. She sells a lot of other restaurants here in town. She's a very dedicated farmer. Her whole family works. I think she employs her whole family at the farm. I think it's like slave labor or something. I don't know. So I'm just doing is I'm taking the top off of the tomato. Great. And what I'm going to do is also take off the bottom a little bit. It's kind of an imperfect science. I'm not going to skin these tomatoes. You can at home if you want, but I'm not going to do that. They sell these things that you can skin tomatoes with. Goods for Cooks has them down on the square. Just go down there and ask Andrew, who's the owner. You want a thing you can peel tomatoes with. It's a little serrated blade. Anyway, that's for another show. So as you see, I kind of went north-south on these tomatoes. I'm going for the equator. Say this is the earth, going right down the equator. What I've done here is create an opening for the tomato. I'm going to squeeze these seeds out. It's optional to do this, but the seeds some people don't like, and also you're going to get some of the moisture out of it. If you get a lot of moisture in your salsa, it ends up getting watery after a while. So what I'm going to do is squeeze this out a little bit. I've got a compost bucket down here. Remember to try to compost if you can. Composting is a way to return organic material back to the earth, and it's great for your gardens if you're a gardener at home. I've also got some salsa already made up. You guys can taste it in a little bit after we get some of the judging done. And you're all going to have an opportunity to taste all these salsas plus my salsa. Anyway, what I've done here, you squeeze some of the seeds out. Now, right now, this probably doesn't look too attractive, but it tastes really good. These are nice, beautiful, fresh tomatoes. What I'm going to do, and hopefully you can see this, if we get a camera shot here, I'm basically going to run my blade. I got a really nice sharp knife, which is really essential if you're going to make salsas or any cooking. You want to get a sharp blade. It's easier to cut yourself with a dull blade than a sharp blade. Just keep your fingers out of the way. Because with a sharp knife, you're working really easily through the meat of the tomato or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop going this way. Then I'm going to turn my tomato and go through it this way. Get a nice, even, fine dice. And one of the judges' criteria here is appearance of the salsa. And one thing I'm sure they're going to be looking for is a nice, even dice. I've got friends who make salsas, and they kind of want to get my opinion about them. And what I'll do is say, hey, it tastes great, but if you're going to go for a salsa competition, you want to make sure it looks nice. So a nice, even dice, because what you want to do is, as you know, most salsas you put on a chip or use a chip to dip. And so what you want to do is kind of make sure that on that chip you get a little bit of everything in every bite. You got peppers, you got onions, you got tomatoes, you got cilantro. So you want to make sure that everything's about the same size. That way the flavor is equally distributed. And that's kind of important, especially if you're selling it like we do at the restaurant. You want to make sure that the salsa looks good and tastes good.
Hey, Rags, when you make this at the restaurant, are you using any machines, or are you doing this all by hand?
No, we do this by hand.
All by hand.
Believe it or not. Now, in the off-season, what we'll do, I mean when tomatoes aren't really fresh, we use canned tomatoes, and it's okay to use canned tomatoes. It really is. Because I realize we're here in Indiana, and a lot of times you can't use the fresh product. But yes, we do it by hand, and we make small batches. You can use machinery to do this. It's okay to do that too. They've got these machines in food processor. They also have these salsa machines that you can buy online. You can do that. If you want to go through the process of chopping all this, that's fine. If not, really, you're not hurting my feelings. Just go ahead and do that. But we just do everything by hand. What I try to do is teach my kids that work for me how to use a knife and how to have basic restaurant skills. So if they want to get later in life, they want to be a cook or a chef, great. If not, they don't have to do that. But it's good to have basic knife skills. I mean, when you're cooking at home, you want to be able to do that. Because especially when you have guests around, you know, and you got your new kitchen out there and your new knives, you want to act like you know what you're doing. So basically, I'm just going to cut more tomatoes. Like I say, I've already got a big batch already made up. But this way, hopefully you kind of get an idea. And this will be replayed on BCAT. So I would suggest you get your DVR set and TiVo it, and you can put this in your library. And so study it every night, because there'll be a test next year, the salsa contest. I'm going to get some new people up here so you can kind of see what's going on.
Well, they're going to make their own, and then they're going to compete in the contest next year.
You know, that's
how
great.
it'll work.
That's what we want.
Yeah, that's
the
what we want.
more the merrier. That's what we say here.
It'll all be your recipe, but it'll still be in the contest.
Right.
So.
To see if they understand. I've been saying it's my recipe. They can add anything else they want to it. They can add.
There you go.
They can add. See, you can add different tomatoes to it. There's heirloom tomatoes. There's regular, good old red Indiana tomatoes. There's dozens, hundreds of different types of peppers.
Well, in the specialty category, you could put literally anything in it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Beans. Fruits. See, basically, tomatoes are a fruit anyway. So I mean, the Benz are back in the Reagan administration. Remember the whole ketchup thing? You know, because it was considered a veg. Yeah, it was considered a Yeah. So it's cool to do it. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm draining the liquid through a sieve here. Now, you don't have to do this, but really, it tastes a lot better. It'll hold up better on your chip or however you want to serve your salsa. And that's a mistake that some people make when they're making salsa and they're going to have their guests over, your mother-in-law or your prospective significant one, whatever. What I'm doing here, and you can save this liquid and cook with it later. You can reduce it and use it for chili or for Bloody Marys if you imbibe. So what I'm doing here is just drain that liquid off. And if you're using canned tomatoes, do this also, because a lot of canned tomatoes have a lot of liquid in which is high in sodium. So you might want to rinse them off a little bit. So I do it, and I put this in a big bowl. Just for time's sake, we'll get this out of the way. I'm really glad everybody's kind of paying attention and watching what's going on. It's really important here if you want to learn about salsas. There's my chef Dave Davenport right over here. He's my sous chef, or sometimes I'm his sous chef, however you want to talk about it. And he helps me with a lot of my recipes and helps me with my knives and everything. Fantastic guy, does all our desserts. Anyway, thanks for coming out, Chef Dave. So I'm going to do, let me show you how to clean a quick onion here. Let me get this out of the way real quick. A lot of people just start hacking away at onions, which you can do, but this is a basic way to cut an onion. It's really simple, really easily. The good thing about onions, they're cheap, and so you can kind of practice. If you mess up every now, it's fine. Once again, like this is the earth. That's the top, that's the bottom. North Pole, South Pole. What I'm going to do is cut off the North Pole. Sorry, Santa Claus. Cut off the South Pole. Hopefully global warming, we still have one in a few years. So that way I've got a flat surface, like so. I've got this onion beat right now. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to roll off the table because I got it flat, okay? Next thing I'm going to do, some people would start peeling this right now. You can if you want. It's okay with me. What you do next is just take it right down the middle. You open up in two. Now you peel it.
Now you peel it.
Now you peel it.
Now you peel it.
It's very appealing. Just like the salsa contest, just like Bloomington. Isn't Bloomington a great place? You got beautiful weather. You guys, it's a great farmers market, and I'm on the advisor council to the farmers market here in Bloomington. And people tell me from all over the state and other parts of the country, we have the finest farmers market in the state of Indiana, if not the country.
Yeah.
There you go, Marcia. All because of this
Marcia
woman right here, Marcia Veldman. We see Marcia out and about. Yes, Marcia. Okay, we're tasting salsa in both tents over here. If you guys are getting bored with me, you can eat. It's America. You can eat and listen at the same time.
And these are the salsas that are being judged right now.
Right now, yes.
Yeah. So this is your chance to judge these salsas here.
Okay, let's go
over
back.
in these two tents, and then this blue tent over here.
Thanks, Marcia. I know these people are hungry. Okay, well, I've got, remember, to get back to that before people are going to start eating, or go ahead and eat. You can listen. You can watch this on BCAT later. It's okay. So I got my flat onion like this. After I peeled it, what I'm going to do is make a slice parallel to the table, like so. You can do another one. You can do another one. Just want to make it use your sharp knife. Remember that. Hopefully I won't cut myself. You know, I've done 9 demonstrations. I've not cut myself yet, so.
It's always the first time.
Murphy's Law. It'll be your fault, Steve.
It'll be my fault.
And there's Tim Clower over here, Director of Community Kitchen, one of the great organizations of Bloomington, and he's the guy that organized the whole thing last time, the Chef Challenge. So if you have any way you can contribute to Community Kitchen, it's a great, great, great organization. Anyway, get back to my onion. So what we're doing here is I'm doing a very fine dice. I'm not cutting through the whole onion. I'm fanning it out. I don't know if you can see this. I'm making small incisions and coming across and holding at the bottom. The bottom I didn't cut through. That way you have something to hold on to. If you cut all the way through, you're going to make a big mess. We can still do it if you like, but this is the easy way to do it. Runaway tomato. I hate when that happens. So I'm going through, and the size of incisions basically the same size as the tomatoes I cut. Okay, this is like a human Vegematic. Okay, I've got these fanned out like that. I think this is how one of those chain things does Bloomington onions, but they buy their onions from some other country, and they use some machine and slave labor to do it. Not a farmer's market, by gosh, by golly. Okay, now I'm going to cut through, go across the other direction so I get a fine dice here.
That's a fine dice.
Thank you. You got a fine dice too.
Yeah.
My wife has a very fine dice. So we're going through here, and I'll show you the core thing. Once you get down to the end, as you notice, if you guys want to come up and look, you can see, I mean, this is a really nice, even dice we have here. So once again, I'll do it from scratch. Right, it's about texture, not just visual also, because what you're going to do is get a nice crunch in every bite of onion. In every bite, you get a crunch of jalapeno or whatever pepper you like. You're going to get that smooth, cool feeling on your tongue of a fresh tomato. All that together, that's why they pay me the big bucks. That's why Alan Zimmerman and Jeff Fitch get paid the big bucks. We understand how pulling flavors together. And I'm going to try to teach all you people how to do that also. Don't be scared. I just use this knife on vegetables. Cut through again one more time. Back and forth. And like I say, you can up close on BCAT. Look at TiVo this and you can figure out what's going on. Okay, so here's that core piece. There's a little piece that you're not sure what to do with. You can throw this in soups and stocks if you like, or just take a big bite out of it. What I'm just going to do is the same type of motion, go one way, the same size, which is about 1/4 inch, and go back through the other size. Voila. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm seeding a pepper. This is a jalapeno pepper we got here at the market. I can't remember exactly where I got it, but my assistant Kevin Bird over there did some shopping for me because I was busy. So what you're going to do is seed the peppers.
Seed the peppers.
Seed the peppers. Right. Yeah. What you want to do is, most of the heat, the capsaicin, is in the membrane and in the seeds. So jalapeno on the Scoville scale, Susan back there, who's the pepper expert, can kind of give you the info, the exact scientific info. But on the scale of peppers, this is about a medium pepper, but it's still hot.
About 80,000.
How many?
About 80,000.
Thank you. If I had a T-shirt, I'd give you one.
80,000.
You know, come by Nick's for lunch, I'll get you one.
Nick, got it.
Okay. So what you want to do is remove those seeds. If you want a really hot salsa, you keep those seeds, those membranes in there. There's Alan Zimmerman's dad right there. Tell him everything he knows. What you want to do is take these seeds out. That will give you the flavor of the pepper. You'll still get the heat, but not as much heat. If you really like hot stuff, you can use a really hot pepper, which would be like a habanero, a Scotch bonnet. How many Scoville units is that?
About 135,000, 140,000.
Thank you. That's
140,000 of
That's some
anything
hot
is a
stuff.
lot.
Actually, a little
That's a lot.
anecdote. Several years ago at the salsa contest, we had a contestant do a straight habanero salsa.
Ooh.
Straight habanero.
Ooh.
The judges ate it. They thought it was a joke. A couple of guys almost died.
Really?
But anyway, yeah. But anyway, if you want to kill yourself, just eat straight habanero unless you really like hot food. Anyway.
All right.
So I took the top off, and what I'm going to just do is just go right down the middle, like north-south, not east-west, so that you have the pepper like this. Same concept as in the onion. I've got it now defeated. This pepper cannot hurt me in any way. Plus, you see I'm wearing gloves. You got to wear gloves for this. If you don't, that's okay. Just don't touch any part of your body that you want to preserve for the next several days, because it's really going to hurt. Don't rub your eyes either, because it really will hurt. What you do is take a spoon and just seed your pepper. Take the membrane out. It'll come out like you're scooping, I don't know, grapefruit or cantaloupe, I don't know, something like that. So take it, scoop it out. If you want to keep it hot, you can keep the seeds and membranes in there. But I would suggest, especially for the really hot peppers, you want to take the membranes out. And see, this is a jalapeno too, but it's just red. So they stay in the vine a little bit longer. That's how you get red peppers. It's not a red pepper plant. Well, some are, but
Are
for
they-
the most part, they start green, they turn
Are they
red.
hotter because they're red? Or
They're a little bit sweeter. I don't think
A
they're
little
really
sweeter.
hotter. Correct. You can ask. You can ask.
ask an expert.
Oh no, my ears are gonna burn off.
Yeah.
You can ask Susan, the salsa woman or the pepper woman, and
Yeah.
she would give you that. Susan, my lovely wife, do you know? She's not sure. No, they don't. Basically, they just get sweeter because
Yeah.
most of the heat is in the membrane or the seed. So I'm gonna do. There's a way to do this also. Here's a pepper. What I'm gonna do is come across this way with my blade, turn it, then go across this way. It's kind of like when you eat corn. Some people go this way, some people go that way. But with the pepper, you're gonna do it both ways. Fine small dice with the peppers. You want to go pretty small because you don't want big chunks of peppers. If you like really hot stuff, you're gonna be the only one eating it. Go ahead and do it. Like I say, it's your salsa. It's your salsa, and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Anyway, we're going back through here.
We're not playing in the same either. He's
I'm
just
ready
giving
for the
me that
dance
great.
contest.
Yeah.
As you notice, I'm using red and green peppers here just because I like the different colors, different flavors, different textures. If you use a habanero, believe it or not, one of the hottest peppers on earth, it'll be an orange color, a yellow color, something like that. And they're beautiful in salsa, and they really do have a fantastic flavor. You don't really have to worry about the heat that much. If you take those membranes out, that habanero, it will still be hot, but it'll really meld with the other flavors of your tomato, onion, and garlic. Speaking of garlic, I got some garlic here. I already smashed. Let me smash a whole clove. We're gonna go garlic. Also, take your knife with a flat end down, smash it, open it up. You can buy garlic already chopped up in jars. You can do that. It's okay, but you have some really fresh garlic out there with these farmers. Go and grab some fresh garlic. It's fantastic. The flavor and the aroma will just drive you crazy. Another key opponent of the salsas is garlic. So I'm doing now is I'm removing the skins. And I'm just going to run a rough chop through these. You can cut them the same way as an onion, but I don't know if I have time to do that. How much time do we have? I'm over. Okay. My wife says I'm over. But so I'm just going to do, I got guacamole to do too. Another way to do that, you put some salt on your board like this. Take your garlic, kind of smash it, and you go back and forth with it. And what you're going to do is end up making a paste. It almost liquefies it. Like so, and it takes a little bit to do. This is an old Italian trick my Italian grandmother showed me back in the 60s when I was just a little Italian baby child. There you go. It's a nice thin paste. This is great. You can put it in pastas or whatever. What I did right now for this, it just really brings out the flavor of your garlic and throw in your salsa. What do now? Susan, can you cut a lime for me? That's it. Peppers, garlic. You got to hurry on this.
So right now we got in there, we got tomatoes, we got onions, two different kinds of onions. We got garlic, we got jalapeno pepper, two different colors.
Correct.
And we've got,
Sure. Susan now is zesting a lime. What she wants to do is just take the very outer skin of any citrus that you'd like. You don't have to put lime in it, but that's kind of the basic recipe. The zest on the outside, not the pits. You don't want the white part, just very finely. She's taking that zest off. That's where most of the flavor in most citrus is that pith out there, or in the skin, not the pith. And what she's also going to do is going to roll that. Once she's done with that, she's going to roll that on the cutting board, which is going to kind of loosen up all the juice in there. And she's going to cut it in half and squeeze it in there. What I'm doing here is chopped up cilantro. Some of you people might mistake cilantro for parsley, but it's not. The leaf kind of looks the same. The leaves, the ends are a little more round on the cilantro. That's more of a pungent flavor. It's very prevalent in most Latin American, Mexican cooking. Very prevalent in the cultures of the southeast, Thailand, wherever. It's great fresh. It's not, you don't really want to cook with a whole lot. You can cook with the coriander, which is a seed. It's a different flavor. What we're doing here is adding the cilantro and add a little more lime.
How are you deciding how much of each thing to put in there?
I've got a recipe that they can pick up over here. I got a cheat sheet, and I've made salsa thousands of times. So basically, what you do also is you get your own palate going. So if
Yeah.
you like it a little hotter, you add more peppers.
Yeah.
If you like it a little sweeter, you add some sweet peppers.
Right.
Or you can add honey to this if you like. There's a lot of different tricks you can do, because sometimes, depending on the time of year, the produce isn't exactly the greatest.
Right,
So what you can do is add honey, for instance, for tomatoes that aren't really that super ripe. Or
Right.
if you make a mistake and your sauce is really hot, you got too much pepper in there, that's why it's a good idea just to add peppers in small amounts to get the kind you like. You can add something sweet to it, like sugar or honey, and it tastes a lot better. So basically what you do is you experiment. Like I said, I've made this thousands of times, and so I kind of know just by feel how to do it. But try it at home. That's a great thing about cooking and shopping here at the farmer's market. You get all these different ingredients. Saturday afternoon, sit out on your back porch, open up your favorite beverage, start chopping away, taste a little bit with a chip, take another swig of your favorite beverage. You might want to add a little more cilantro. You might want to add a little more pepper to it. But that's how you do it. I salted the garlic, but she's going to add a little more pinch of salt for me. And then also we have is rice vinegar. The rice vinegar helps preserve it and brings out a little more acidity from the tomato. Yes, right there.
Yep.
You can use any vinegar you like, but rice vinegar has a very mild flavor to it, and it actually will help your salsa last a little bit longer. And your salsa should last in the fridge, and in my recipe it'll explain. Keep it in your fridge in a sealed container. It'll last. It'll stay for several days, even a week maybe.
Yep.
But the tomatoes and the acid will start breaking everything down.
Right.
So that's my basic salsa. Like I said, you can add anything else you like to it. You can put corn in here. You can put black beans in there, or you don't have to put tomatoes. You can put black beans and corn in there.
You just come to the farmer's market, you see what looks good, and you make some salsa with it when you get home.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the best thing about it. Pizzas, there's still a lot of pizzas out there. Pizza salsa is excellent. But see, when you're using
Yeah.
those delicate fruits, you want to make sure that you don't let that salsa kind of stick around too long. It'll start getting mushy. It'll still taste good.
Right.
You get mushy. And the good thing about salsa, you just don't have to put it on chips. You can put it on your omelets. You got a leftover pork loin, or even a fresh pork loin you got on the grill. You can use that as a condiment there for a sandwich, or just fish is excellent with fish. We serve actually mango salsa with different fishes that we have at Nick's.
Yeah.
It's a great accompaniment to anything. And so you guys want to come on over? We got some salsa already made
Yeah,
up
you
over here.
can you can taste something that's already been made over here. Remember, you can taste what's being judged at these
Yeah.
tents down here. There's
Either
one
side.
down there. There's two down there. There's chips. Do they get chips for your salsa down there?
They get chips, get a boat of chips, and tour the whole gamut here. You get to taste all these contestant salsa. You get to taste my salsa. And one note is, it's better if your salsa sits for at least a couple hours. That way the flavors smell.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and test this sauce now, and you can give me your opinion on it. What I'm going to do is show you the basic recipe for a basic guacamole. As in salsa, there are different variations with guacamole you can do also. But mine is just going to be avocado, obviously. Guac is easier. Guacamole consists of avocados, cilantro, lime, my garlic. Garlic, yeah, you like lots of garlic. I know.
That's probably not the proportions you want to use to make
No.
your guacamole. Right
Cilantro, garlic, lime. Am I missing something here, Susan? No, we're not putting tomato in it. And salt. This is a basic guacamole. You got a lot of Mexican restaurants. I mean, this is a recipe that I've did a little bit of research on. Rick Bayless out of Chicago is a big, great interpreter of the Mexican, Latin American cuisine.
He's got some great cookbooks. Yeah.
It's fantastic. This is a basic thing. If you want to put tomatoes in it, you can put tomatoes in it. If you want to put sour cream or you want to put yogurt in it, that's fine. Anything else you want to put in there, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with cooking the way that you want to cook and putting what you like to eat.
But it stops being guacamole if it doesn't have avocado.
But it's got to
in it.
have avocado.
But it's got to have avocado.
Steve, did you graduate from IU or did you go to college?
No, I did go to college, but I did not go to IU.
You're a smart guy.
Yeah, well,
That's what
there are
WTIU.
universities north of here that have been known to educate people.
Anyway, to get back to we don't want to talk about that. I'm going to show you how to clean an avocado. There's different ways that people probably try to attack this thing, but if you never saw one of these, you have no idea what it was.
That's an avocado.
You would not do it, right?
It's not. You wouldn't to look at it. You wouldn't know what was inside.
No,
it.
it's got like a thin, leathery type of skin. I mean, just think of the first primates that try to figure out what to do with this thing.
Right,
You know,
be pretty hungry.
like right now, if I tried to squeeze it,
Yeah.
squeeze out like a big banana and go all over the place. But no, I'm not going to do that. So
I'd have thrown it at somebody. That's what I would
What
have done.
separates us from the primates is we know how to use tools. So I'm sure the first
Right.
person that went for
You can get tools like that at Goods for Cooks, right?
Goods for Cooks.
That's
Actually,
a great place
that's
to get
where
a
I
tool
got
like
this
that.
knife here.
I believe they call that a big knife.
The chef's knife, 8-inch
Chef's
chef knife.
knife.
So what I'm gonna do is, once again, there's a top and a bottom. Locate that top and bottom, kind of like what I did with the onions and the tomatoes. It's really easy to do. The stem was up here, and that's the bottom. Hangs on a tree like this. Looks like a pear. Actually, in Jamaica, they call this an alligator pear.
Really?
Right, they do.
That's a great name.
And in
for
Jamaica,
it.
they got really big ones. When we were in Jamaica, we used to make guacamole.
That's what
Just
I've heard.
Take the whole thing and use this as
They're
a guacamole
fast,
bowl,
too.
and very fast.
Yeah.
And they got really wet this last couple of days because of the blue
That's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is make an incision with my knife. Just follow around. This be the axis, I guess. The longitude. Is that longitude?
That'd be the up and down edge, I believe. That's
Right,
what that's
and what
called.
you're gonna do is make an incision and twist. You want to make sure your avocado's ripe. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. I was so busy talking to Steve.
Yeah, we were
You want to make sure that they're dark in color. You want to make sure that they're soft, but not really too soft. But you mean sometimes if you touch them and they're really, really mushy, they're gonna be a little black inside. You can still use them, but ask your grocer for a discount. Anyway, it's a delicate thing here because you've got to be just right. If your avocado is still hard when you buy it, put it in a brown paper bag, set it off to the side somewhere, and it will ripen quicker. You can also put a banana in there if you want to, do it a little bit faster. The science on that, I could have Chef Dave explain to you, but we'll do that some other day. So, what I did is just gently twist this avocado. It opens up like so. There's not some ancient mystic god that did this, people. This is a piece of avocado which I just attacked and I defeated. Okay, you open up this.
All natural.
All natural, and you got this. These are organic avocados I got from Bloomington.
Nice.
Eat
Well, they
organic
have
when you can.
organic
Remember to
stuff,
eat
I
local.
hear.
Remember to eat local. It's hard to find local avocados, unfortunately. So buy all your other ingredients locally that we're going to do.
If anybody tells you they have local avocados, you can raise an eyebrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like local limes. And there might have a lime tree somewhere. Anyway, let's keep on going. So I'm going to take this pit out. Now this is the dangerous part to all of you who like danger, a little bit of intrigue. This is for you guys. Take your very sharp knife. And actually I did this at work once where I kind of impaled myself. You want to take your knife, pop it like this, give it a little twist. There
That
you're
is
done.
really smart right there.
And then you can plant that seed, put it in your compost pile. I'm gonna do that one more time in super slow motion for the camera. You take your knife, go north, south,
Really nice.
twist.
Yeah.
Now, if you notice a little bit of black in your avocado, I'll show you. We're gonna scoop that out and we can get rid of that. So take your knife, pop that baby open.
I've never seen that done that way before, and that's about the smartest thing I've seen all day.
Well, you watch WTIU. You don't watch those other
No,
channels,
I
do
don't
you?
watch those other channels.
Actually, I think Chef Julia Child did this once back in like 1964.
I can
It's
see
probably
that.
on tape. So then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna scoop this avocado out. Get a spoon, big spoon, large spoon, doesn't make a difference. Just make sure it's clean. What you're gonna do is we're gonna scoop it out. Go on the inside of the skin. They usually come out really easily.
Like butter.
Pop that baby right like butter. That's basically its texture is just like butter. What you just do, you got the inside. You can scrape that out.
One of those really, really bright green avocados they have at the gigantic mega grocery store. The really bright green ones.
The bright green ones, it might be the different. That might be a Fuerte avocado. They're a little bit brighter green. These are the Haas avocados. They were developed in Southern California by a guy with the last name of Haas, and
There you go.
90-something% of our avocados in this country are grown in California because they have perfect weather.
Right.
But if they're really bright green and they're a Haas avocado, it usually means they're not ripe. Is that right, Chef Dave? Okay. So what we're gonna do is scoop these babies out, and I'll show you how to do a quick mash on these. Just like in an onion, you want to put the flat end down. It's not really that necessary with an avocado, but because they don't really roll that much because they're really mushy. You don't want to waste this stuff in the middle. As long as it's not dark, you can use it. Susan, my lovely wife here, if I throw any of this away, I get the dick. She'll take it and start scraping out her teeth. But this,
Hey, I'm going to break in for just a second and let you know that I've been told that
Yes, I did.
we're
Oh.
at about 11 o'clock we're going to be able to announce the winners.
Yes.
All right. How many people here are actually competitors? A show of hands. Who here is a competitor?
Yeah.
Awesome. Which is good because you sort of have to be here to win, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And that's one. Yes, we'll have samples over. This is one. This is another thing. To not waste anything, we're to compost these peels, but also don't waste any of that flesh that's in there. That's one of the ways that Chef Alan Zimmerman won a competition last night. He used the peels of his apples and poached them in a wine in a apple vinegar to make a fantastic sauce. That's a great thing that really great chefs do. They utilize everything they can. And I'm going to utilize this all the way down because I'm going to compost these peels. So anyway, I got this avocado. It's kind of the same theory as when you do onions or tomatoes. There's a certain way that you can chop this up. I'm just taking my knife and going through one way, going through the other. So basically, I'm making little cubes. What I'm doing, this is going to ensure that I get a nice, even, creamy texture. This isn't really necessary if you don't want it really creamy. What I'm going to do is, for consistency purposes, go through this and then go back through with a spatula to mash it up. You can use a blender like this for this also if you like. It's not that big a deal because basically what you're going to do is puree this or smash it. Actually,
it's more fun to chop it up.
It's more fun to chop
than
up.
it is to watch a blender.
Yeah, I mean you can watch a blender, but then you can't hear. You can't talk on your cell phone. You got a blender because you can't hear. Right? You know. And actually, I kind of went out of order here because I was going to put my garlic in first and smash it with salt. That's how we do it at the restaurant. So what I'll do here is just do it quickly. Clean my garlic. Move the sauce over a little bit. Get a little salt. Salt brings out the natural flavor of any vegetable or meat and even fruit, as long as you don't use too much. You won't get that really salty flavor. You kind of want to use it in small portions and then taste what you have. And if you need to add more salt later, you can do that. Right. What I'm going to do this is use it for an abrasive. Take a spoon, smash it down.
You can't see, but he's smashing it down.
He's smashing it down. Soon you can smash it.
That's what it looks like to me.
Right, and then another way you can do it, like I did before on the board, where you put it on here, a little salt. This is kosher salt, by the way. Sea salt is also great to use. I do not advise to use iodized salt at all. If you go to a diner somewhere, they got a little salt on the table, that's great. Use that, but when you're cooking at home, use kosher or sea salt. It's a more natural product. It doesn't have that tinny taste to it. That's how you can tell the difference. This has a more grainy, natural, non-metallic flavor. So I'd always, when I'm cooking, is use kosher salt or sea salt. Okay, what we're doing here also, we're going to zest this lime. See, there's a zester with the lime. So far I've got the avocado and the garlic in there. Usually I'd add more garlic, but for right now, for demonstration purposes, it's got a little bit in there. But just like any other dish, if you like a lot of garlic, put more garlic in. If you don't like a lot, just put a little bit in to accentuate the flavor of the avocado. Because what you want to do, you only have like 4 basic ingredients. What you want to do is utilize those the best that you can. And then you can add different portions of different things later to make it a little hotter, a little sweeter, a little saltier, whatever you want. So once again, I'm using the lime. That lime also will help preserve this guacamole. It will not turn brown as quick. If you don't put a citrus in there, it will turn brown. A little trick that Chef Dave and I worked with the other day was we made massive amounts of guacamole for this demonstration. Once we did that, we put a layer of lemon juice on top of that and a paper towel on top of that. And that way we lost no guacamole whatsoever. It will not turn brown. It doesn't taste that bad, but it just doesn't look good. And when you know, avocados are kind of expensive, so you want to make sure that you utilize your vegetables the best as possible, not any waste.
Right.
Little lime juice, like I said, it will keep it fresher. And once again, I'm gonna throw some cilantro. As you notice, I'm just grabbing big hunks of this and bringing my knife through it. You can use the stems in cilantro. Cilantro is one of the few, if only, herbs. This is a fresh herb. It's not a spice. Spices are seeds. Herbs are leaves, right? So what you want to do is bring your knife through this, and you can do this on a food processor if you like, but the thing is, cilantro is very delicate. Cilantro is very delicate. It's like a woman, it's very delicate. but also has a very strong punch, just at the right time. What you want to do is be delicate with it so you don't bruise it.
Yeah.
Because what you can do, if you abuse this a little bit too much, they'll start turning color right away. That's why you take your cilantro, put it in your guacamole mixture with your lime, and it'll help preserve that color. I mean, it'll still taste good if it's black, but it just doesn't look as good.
Right.
Okay, Susan, what do we got now? The family guacamole, you guys want to see it?
I think we have a winner. I think we have a winner. So we have the barefoot couple. The barefoot couple. That's pretty awesome.
So should we go from the bottom up, I guess, maybe, and start with number 3? Every category was ranked 1, 2, and 3. That's the winners. We'll start with specialty. The number 3 entry was entry from Jose Espirito. I may be butchering your last name, which was a blueberry specialty salsa. Number 2 was Bill Adam.
Hey, he's won before.
Bill Adam, he's a winner before.
Multiple winner. Yeah.
And number 1 in specialty was Tom Neal.
Tom Neal. What was so special about it?
I didn't taste that category.
We get a specialty judge.
I don't know. Maybe it was a $20 bill.
The second category was the cooked category.
Cooked category.
And cooked tomatoes or peppers or some ingredient was cooked in this category. And we have the number 3 entry was Katie Young.
Katie Young.
Katie, congratulations.
The number 2 entry in the cooked category was Bailey Gray.
Bailey.
Bailey Gray.
Bailey.
Where's Bailey?
Bailey here.
Paging Bailey Gray. Paging Bailey Gray.
Airport style.
And the number 1 in this category with his second prize bag is Jose.
No way.
Jose.
Again.
A double winner.
Double winner, 3rd and a 1st place this year.
He was a busy guy last couple days.
He was.
You gotta give one to host B. Yeah.
All right, and the last category is the raw category.
Raw.
All right. Number 3 in the raw category is Victoria Collignon. Is that right on the last name? Collignon?
Helen Young.
All right.
Excellent.
3rd place. 2nd place winner is Melanie Bailey.
Melanie
There,
Bailey.
Bailey. Melanie.
Where's Melanie?
Melanie Bailey is 2nd place. And 1st place in the raw category is Meg Torrance.
No way.
Torrance.